Hey everybody, I'm just waking up from a night in the Tesla, and I wanted to make a video for anybody that wants to try to do this, to let you know a few pointers so that you can make sure that you're not miserable, because it's easy to do it wrong, totally wrong, and it's only going to get so good, but I can tell you how to do that. First thing is, all you need, if you have the 5-seat version of the Model X, and that's what I'd recommend as the best version of any Tesla, or the 7-seat where the back second row seat folds flat. That's only available in newer years, not in original ones, because these middle row seats never folded on the original ones for the first year or two, unless you got the 5-seat version. Anyway, that's what I have, the 5-seat version with the middle row that folds down. Use that. Use an air mattress. All you need is the cheapest twin air mattress you can find, okay, at Walmart or whatever. It's like $8. Just make sure you keep it inflated enough, and you always have to add air after it inflates the first time, so that it doesn't, because it'll lose some naturally the first time you inflate it, or if you even in subsequent times. But make sure you have a power inverter so you can power your pump off AC. You can buy a power inverter at Walmart also, a real nice one for like $30. It'll power everything. And then you just get a regular twin bed sheet and a pillow. That's all you need. In terms of the climate control, of course, you're going to use Keep Climate On, which does not recharge your devices, by the way. You can see my screen is shut off right now. The only way to wake it up is to push on the driver's seat where my butt usually goes, and it'll turn everything on for about 30 minutes. That's it. Unless you're always in the seat moving, it shuts off after about every 30 minutes, which keeps the climate on if you use climate, but you've got to make sure you do not go below 20% battery level ever at night, otherwise the climate will go off. And of course, even in a perfect climate, I recommend you keep the climate on, because it keeps the windows from fogging up. If you have the Model X like I do with the bioweapons defense, it keeps the air all clean. It never gets stuffy. You never notice any lowering of air quality. In fact, it's probably better than the air quality in your house, okay, as long as you keep it running. So I keep it on, and then in the summertime, you want to keep it at 72 degrees, nothing else. I don't care what it feels like before you go to bed, put it at 72. If it's warmer in the evening. If it's cooler in the evening, even like we're up north now right now, I would say, you know, if it's cooler in the evening, go ahead and put it at 73. And in either case, override the fan so it's at about a level of 6 or higher. You don't have to have it much higher than 6, but 6 will keep everything circulating no matter what goes on, and it'll feel nice, or at least as best as it's going to do. But those magic numbers are important to remember. In the warm evenings, 72. In the colder evenings, 73. But don't vary it from that no matter what it feels like before you go to bed. Otherwise, you're going to wake up freezing or burning up. One of the two. And then the last thing is, where do you park when you're traveling? I'm assuming you're traveling, okay? If you're doing this, you want to find somewhere that's open 24 hours, and you want to randomize it. You never want to park like 2 nights in a row at the same place. Just take one night and go somewhere else. And some of the best places to park are either 24-hour gas stations, which are kind of noisy. Those are the noisiest option, okay? And a lot of them have superchargers, so that works out great. But there's a lot of lights and there's a lot of noise and constant goings on, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. That's the least favorite choice. Another one is, like I go to a lot of 24-hour gyms. In a parking lot of a 24-hour gym, you can go there. Okay, and you can access the bathroom as well. These are both cases. You can access the bathroom if you got to go in the middle of the night, which is important. And assuming you're a member of the gym, you got to be a member of the gym, of course. And if you have a guest with you, you have to follow their policy. Otherwise, you get huge fines if you don't follow their policies. And a lot of times, you cannot have guests after normal staffed hours. So keep that in mind. Third is going to be rest stops along the highway. Or yeah, this is third best. It's going to be well, this is the third going up from the bottom. This is probably the second best overall of the 4 I'm going to give you. Highway rest stops. They are usually patrolled for security, but there's a lot of coming and going, and I've seen some weird stuff actually at highway rest stops. People sleep in their cars with the windows open and legs out the window. I've seen that in Orlando. If you look up my channel, a video on that. Or it was just outside of Orlando. I can't remember the name of the town on I-4. But that's a good option, and you can go to the bathroom easily anytime. And best is where we are right now, which is, see over there? Walmart. Most Walmarts are open 24 hours. You have to check, okay? You've got to check your Google Maps and the hours. If they're not open 24 hours, they may end up running you out of here in the middle of the night. I don't know. But if they're open 24 hours, you shouldn't have a problem at all. That's number one. So let's go back in order of preference. This time Walmart, then highway rest stops, then 24-hour gyms, then a 24-hour gas station. That's it. And make sure, of course, you know where the nearest supercharger is when you're doing this, because you're going to need to charge up probably right afterwards, since it usually uses about 50 miles of range, I think, approximately. Maybe more if you're using more heat. But during an 8-hour evening of sleep, approximately 50 miles of range. Keep that in mind. And one last thing to keep in mind is, if you have a Model X like we do and you're using in the back like we are, I would try to crawl in from the driver's side into the back, because you attract a tremendous amount of attention whenever you open up the Falcon Wing doors. So I know Denise always likes to get in that way, but it attracts a tremendous amount of attention, even in the, when there's no one around, when that door goes up. And if you have a Model X, you know what I'm talking about. So just keep that in mind. And I do think the Model X is the best, no question about it. Maybe the best vehicle anywhere to do this, because if you have used my referral code, which is like 5108, it's at the end of this video, you get free supercharging for life. So you can do all this at no cost for electricity. And like I said, you're going to use about 50 miles of range every time you do this. So each night that you do this, and like my vehicle has 250, so that's 1/5 of the battery, 90 kilowatts. Let's just round it off. Let's see, 90. I don't even know how to do all that. 20. So it's probably about 20 kilowatts of electricity you're going to use to stay in the car and have the climate control on every single night. So that can add up if you got to pay for it, but just that's a good rule of thumb anyway. If you have any other tips or pointers, please let me know. And thanks for watching, and I look forward to reading your tips, because this is something not a lot of people do, but it definitely is a niche thing that people are doing these days. And I'd love to hear your comments on what you're doing, how you're doing this, and any experiences you've had. Thanks for watching.